All right. Awesome. Well, yeah. Hi, Alex Simon here. I'm a public health advocate with CoPIRG, talking today about electric vehicles and how they're playing a bigger role in municipal fleets across Colorado. Electric cars reduce emissions, resulting in cleaner air and healthier communities. I'm here today with Tim Karpf from Aspen's Climate Action Office to learn a little bit more about Aspen's municipal electrification process. Aspen is a Go EV city committing to a 100% zero emission transportation future and has been a leader in the state around electrification. Thanks so much for joining me today, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
So as we get started, I'd love to just know a little bit of background about why is it important for the city of Aspen to electrify their fleet?
Yeah, thanks. I think so climate change represents like an existential threat to our way of life here in Aspen. As a community that relies on its local environment for tourism, for outdoor recreation, for real estate and other investments, we're really looking to decarbonize our economy as quickly as possible, so that we can do our part to tackle global climate change. And beyond that, we've been inventorying our greenhouse gas emissions since 2004, and so protecting our environment has been a really key goal since even before that. So, we've got science-based targets to eliminate emissions by 63% by 2030, and then 100% by 2050 based on our 2017 emissions levels. So that's been really important. We were one of the first cities in the nation to go 100% renewable energy. We did that back in 2015. So as far as vehicle and fleet emissions go, being supported by a renewable energy grid is one of the most direct opportunities that we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And it's great to see Aspen stepping up and setting such ambitious goals.
Yeah.
So along lines of reaching those goals, what progress has Aspen made so far around fleet electrification?
Um, yeah, so you know, we've got electric vehicle plans like going back to 2017. We've got an EV readiness plan that was a really important one of the first in the state. In 2021, we did a infrastructure specific EV public charging infrastructure master plan, and then we've actually also embarked on a fleet zero emissions roadmap, which is more just like a multi-department collaborative effort to identify barriers and opportunities to informing policy and preparedness around fleet electrification specifically. Aspen has been an early adopter of electric vehicles. We've got Nissan Leafs that date back to 2016. And then we've had a variety of sort of electric vehicle utility vehicles, working for our parks department since years before that. So we've had a lot of experience with EVs and have recognized and learned from the challenges to electrification here, especially up in the, 8,000 feet in the Colorado Rockies. We're dealing with cold, snowy winters and mountainous inclines, and, we're not quite proximate to any dealerships as well. So that's been important for like adjusting vehicle downtime. So yeah, EVs still make up kind of a small portion of our entire fleet. We're still, in the under 10% range. However, we've made some progress with certain departments, and that's kind of the great success stories that, that I'd love to chat with you today. Where there has been good suitable replacements, we've made a lot of impact. So that's most notably seen in the Aspen Police Department, which is currently a third of the police department fleet is electric. So that's been really exciting. And so we're learning a lot from just that experience.
Wow, that's really neat. And I know that electrification of police and other like fire departments and things like that is really on the forefront of what cities are doing now. What type of vehicles are the police using in Aspen?
Yeah, we've got 5 Teslas, Tesla Model Ys. They're being used for a variety of administrative and active patrol duty purposes. We're adding a 6th this year, and then we've also got a Ford Lightning F-150 that is going to be outfitted for patrol and will be introduced to our fleet in the next few months.
Cool. And we know that you're up high there and it gets really cold and there's snow and things like that. How have the EVs performed in the cold weather?
It performs great. We haven't had any issues, especially with the cold. We're seeing, really dramatic cost savings on these vehicles compared to their ICE counterparts. The
Hmm.
we've got 1 year of data, but 1 year of data with the police patrol Model Y, um, and we saw a 78% cost savings from comparing the fuel and maintenance from that vehicle in real estimates compared to the vehicle that it replaced, which was a Ford Explorer, which is really exciting.
That's really cool. Um, and I think the fuel savings are pretty obvious, right? It's not taking gas from the gas pump, but instead is being charged. Can you explain a little bit around how the savings, how the EVs are saving money on maintenance?
Yeah. I mean, right now it's pretty much only just changing tires out. It's it's a little bit of the windscreen wipers, but it's so simple. We're seeing, just in that first year that the biggest cost to on maintenance from our end was just time spent, getting them ready for winter and then changing them over for summer again. So
Yeah, that's great. Is it less breaking down or less ongoing maintenance or a combination of both?
yeah, we're still a year into the pilot, but less breaking down and less maintenance overall. I mean, these vehicles are requiring not much work at all.
Yeah, that's great. And it's like really wonderful to see those taxpayer resources get freed up for other opportunities.
Hmm.
I know you mentioned it. Any other exciting developments that you want to share? And the police department progress, I think, is really neat and one of the first examples of that I know of in the state. Anything else that's coming up in the next year or two that you're looking forward to around electrification?
Yeah, I think up until this point, we've just had troubles actually getting the vehicles. So we're looking to bring on as more and as rapidly as possible. You know, we want to consider things like the embodied carbon of our existing fleet. And so right sizing is again just a very important part of this transition for us. So we're looking, currently about 50% of our fleet is pickup trucks. So we're evaluating each of those vehicles for their suitability for not just for whatever for downsizing and right sizing those vehicles as well. We're excited about opportunities to build out our charging infrastructure. I think we're excited to take advantage of a myriad of state and federal incentives to do that. And and then on the medium and heavy duty side, the state of Colorado is giving us a lot of opportunities to really reflect on what opportunities we have to transition those vehicles as well. So expect more charging infrastructure, dedicated charging infrastructure, and some exciting pilots coming up as well.
That's really cool. Yeah, we know this is a kind of unprecedented time in terms of state and federal resources to help consumers and governments, make the switch to EVs. And it's really been cool to hear about the stuff Aspen's doing and what you have coming up. Thank you so much for talking about today, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time. Yeah, thanks, Alex.